So I'm headed to Minnesota to visit family, and there were two sweaters that I was supposed to have done before I went there so that I could drop them off. But unfortunately, I needed more yarn to finish both of them, and the yarn got delayed in shipping, so it was not going to deliver. And we leave in 2 hours to start our road trip. And when I open the door to take out the trash before we leave on our road trip, I find that the package has delivered mysteriously just before we leave for our road trip, which means I have a choice to make. I can either choose to bring the yarn and projects with me and hope that I can finish them while I am there, or I can just leave them here, get them done when I get back. I contemplated for a solid 20 seconds and decided I'm going to bring it with me. There is room in one of our suitcases to fit this bag, and I am intending to make that room work. I'm not going to work on either of these projects when I'm in the car. It is like a 27-ish hour drive, and I have a different project in mind to work on while I am in the car. Something a little bit more mindless because I can get really car sick, so anything that requires me looking at it or focusing at all is not the vibe. So I brought a project that I don't even need to look at. But the thing is, we're planning on doing the drive in one shot, which we've done before, and we trade off sleeping shifts, which means I am either sleeping or I am driving. And there's probably only going to be a couple hours where I am awake and not driving. And during those hours, I will probably be pretty tired or not really feeling up to knitting, but we will see. Every road trip is different and completely surprises me. But either way, while I'm there, we're going to see if I can finish these sweaters. And you're coming with me. I have successfully made it to the state of Minnesota. Yay. So I used to think the drive took us 24 hours, and I don't know why I thought that because I'm wrong. And it's just shy of a 30-hour drive. So my husband and I did successfully do it without having to make any stops to sleep overnight. And I really love when we can do that because it just saves us so much time, and the money that we'd have to spend to getting a hotel is money I'd rather not spend on a hotel. As predicted, in the car, I didn't get that much knitting done. So I would say before we left, I think I made it to the yellow stripe, and then in the car, I did the hot pink stripe. And since we've been here a few days, I've done the rest of the stripes. This is just a project designed to bring me joy. It's the Kilometer Scarf by Florence Miller. For the pattern, it's a free pattern. It's very simple. So at this point, I just follow the cast on method that she recommended, which is now like my favorite invisible cast on method for something like this. Kitchener stitch it closed. Then I just do whatever I want for everything else. This has been my comfort project, my happy project the past few days, and I've been wanting to work on it nonstop. Look at all the colors. Is this not just so fun? So some context for this scarf is I have a ton of drops cotton merino in a bunch of different colors because I have found that it is my favorite yarn to work with. And I ended up ordering one ball of each color that I would be interested in working with in the future so that I could just see their entire collection in person and get a feel for the colors. So it wasn't all the colors they offer, but it was all the colors I was interested in. And I've done various projects with a lot of those colors since. And then what's remaining is either scraps from those projects or rejects of yarns that, seeing them in person, I was like, yeah, I probably wouldn't make a full garment out of that. But those are the colors that are going into this scarf, which means I actually have two different shades of yellow, and these are striped because I did not have enough of either one yellow to make a full stripe. I like that you can't really tell unless you get really, really close. But can you see how it's a lighter and a darker yellow stripe? It's cute. It's cute. Right now, my favorite color combination is this forest green with this hot pink. I am so loving that. And in my efforts to try and not overthink the colors, when I'm doing a scrappy project like the sweater I'm wearing now, I overthink the colors so much. I was thinking 15 colors ahead, thinking how thick do I want the stripes to be? Do they make sense? How much do I have left over? And putting way too much brain effort into doing that. And it was keeping me from knitting because I would be distracted for an hour thinking about what color to do next, which is ridiculous. So to help me prevent overthinking with this scarf, my only rule for myself was you only have to think about the next color. That is it. And the next color only has to look good with the colors it's touching. I'm not thinking 15 colors ahead. I am just thinking about the next color, and that has really helped. So like this, I really like how this like light baby pink goes with this green. I love how the green goes with the white with the blue with the yellow with the hot pink. Love the hot pink with the forest green and the forest green with the lavender. lavender with the red with this minty green. The colors, I feel like it works, and I'm trying to lean into the chaos of it all. Now let's talk about the struggles. The struggle is that I am enjoying this scarf so much, I don't want to put it down, but I have other projects I should be working on. So first is the Midnight Forest sweater. It's currently Tuesday, and I see my sister on Friday. I want to have this done by then. I think it's ridiculous for me not to finish this and having to pay for shipping when I'm so close to being done with it. So I'm going to try and I'm going to pack up the scarf so I can't see it. It's going to be zipped in a piece of luggage. And instead, I'm going to work on this and just plow through and get it done. It's so close. It's so close. And I'm having the same issue with the Polaroid sweater that I'm making for my mom. I do not expect to finish it on this trip. I did successfully lengthen the sleeves on this one. The sleeves are really short, so I added, I think, 2 or 3 inches to the sleeves. And now I'm on the body and I'm running into the same mental block. It's like, no, you're not even close on the body of the sweater. You've got a solid foot to go. Do you want to see the quilt I'm sitting on? My grandma made this quilt. She's a big quilter, and she has a bunch of quilts in this home. She did a good job on the quilt. All right, I got a little bit of time before I start work for the day, so I think I might get started on the Midnight Forest sweater. See if I can make a little progress on one of the sleeves before I start working. Flashing forward to the future, because I wanted to share with you some crafty stops that I made while I was in Minnesota, but I couldn't record or didn't while I was in the actual state, so we're doing it now. But first, I need to show you my outfit. So many kitties on the ground. What's up, ladies? Did you miss me when I was in Minnesota, Mary? I bet you did. I bet you did. This is my outfit, and the main player in this outfit is the vest that I've knit. And I realized I think I've shown it on the channel, but I don't know if I've really talked about it. So I was gifted the fairy tale sweater pattern by a viewer because it was on my Ravelry wish list, and I absolutely loved working on the pattern. It's super simple. It's fairly beginner friendly in my opinion. And it's unique because the fairy tale sweater has a really cool feature, and it plays around with construction. Something I've been wanting to get into is drawstrings, and this pattern was my opportunity to practice doing drawstrings before moving forward and trying to do it in a slightly more complicated way. So here's my little I-cord tie bow. This is a fully functional drawstring where you can scrunch it up as much as you want or as little as you want. And I had every intention of turning into a sweater. I still might, but I got done with just the vest part, and I don't know, I kind of like it just as is. Oh, one more thing about the outfit. Let this be your sign to start adding earrings to the tips of your shirt collars. Okay, I've called you here to talk about some crafty stops that I made while I was in Minnesota. The first one is a place called Hunt and Gather, which was recommended to me by my friend. We went together, had a fantastic time looking through. It's sort of a antique shop, thrift shop, secondhand crafting store. It was just so fun, and I want to go back and just spend 2-3 hours really looking through everything. It was so cool. I did end up picking up some stuff when I was there. So the first thing is just a little pouch bag, and I've seen this brand before at a bookstore near me in Oregon. So it's not vintage or anything, but I did want a little pouch for my purse just to keep some mini essentials. Also in this bag, I ended up getting a handkerchief because I've been wanting to have one on hand just for small spills. I don't know, just little moments where a little dab cloth would come in handy. And this one I got at Hunt and Gather. This is actually properly vintage, not just vintage looking. They had so many vintage handkerchiefs, a lot of hand embroidered ones. That was really cool. The thing I'm most excited about is they had a ton of plastic tablecloths, and I've been looking for something like this for ages. I have had a long-term goal of wanting to make the perfect picnic blanket, and to me, that's making a full quilt and then having something that is either sewn on or snapped on. So I want the top part of this picnic blanket to just be cozy quilts and the bottom part to be waterproof. But this is the most adorable waterproof material that I could ever find and hope for. They had a ton of postcards, most of which were vintage. I don't think these are vintage, but I am really into Pantone. It's a work thing, but it's funny that it's getting popular with other folks now too. They had a bunch of Pantone postcards, so I got a bunch in different colors in case I want to frame them or just give them out as postcards. I think it'd be really cool if I'm decorating or working on a room and I'd be like, oh, what would be perfect? Just a little pop of yellow and just framing this. I ended up getting 3 field notes journals. They had cute cards. They had a ton of stationery stuff. And lastly, I got tea towels. They have a tea towel for every state in the United States. So they have their Minnesota tea towel, and then they have their Oregon tea towel. I don't want to have a massive collection of tea towels, but I can definitely afford to have a few more in my home because they don't take up a lot of space. They're really cute, and you can always find just lovely indie tea towels, handmade tea towels. Love them. Okay, so that was Hunt and Gather. I super duper want to go back. When I say they have everything there, I mean they have everything there. They had huge bins full of dentist teeth molds, like the plaster molds they make of people's mouths, porcupine quills, tons of letters, like license plate cut letters, art, everything, everything. So this place was recommended by my friend, and I think she found out about it through her mother-in-law, Debbie. Shout out to Debbie. She actually makes crochet bags that she sells at Hunt and Gather. So if you ever go, look out for a Debbie original. The next place we went was S.R. Harris, which was recommended by my older sister and my mom. So I went with my older sister. We spent a couple hours just looking around. There was a lot of fabric that I wanted to get, but I held off because I'm really trying to work through my current fabric stash before buying more, and I've been doing really good at that. But I did end up picking up some stuff. So they had, a ton of zippers, and I got this invisible zipper for $1, I think. I got myself some dark colored Pima cotton serger thread because serger thread can be really expensive. It says $20 each, but these were actually 50% off, so they're $10 each, which is a pretty good deal on nice Pima cotton thread for a serger. And all I have right now on my serger is white thread, so I wanted a darker option. Other thing I got was they had this huge bin full of just randomly assorted charms and beads and buttons, and I went through and spent a solid 30 minutes picking out every single bow charm that they had in there. So I got 150 of these little bow charms. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them, but I'm gonna do something. I keep thinking of the Howl's Moving Castle jacket. They did a collab with a design house, and it looks so cool. It's covered in all these charms, so I would love to do a project like that where I take a bag, a purse, a jacket, something, and cover it with charms. I hope I got enough. S.R. Harris is a secondhand fabric shop, and they had so many options. Oh my goodness. They had around 100 different swimsuit fabric options, and swimsuit fabric, no, that's not for you. That's my snack. Pippin's trying to eat my snack. No, my mommy made these for me, Pippin. She didn't make them for you. My mom makes these kind of cookie crackers, and they're like a really fancy wheat thin, and they go super well with tea. And apparently Pippin loves them. Back off, girl. They're not for you. Anyways, the point is I definitely want to go back to S.R. Harris whenever I'm in town and just comb through their massive collection. Okay, and the last place in Minnesota I just want to mention, now that I'm mentioning cool places to stop. I didn't end up going this time, but usually when I'm in town, I go to Harriet and Alice, which is a yarn shop in Minneapolis. It's a really cute yarn shop. It's just the perfect size to be able to wander around and look and see a bunch of options without being completely overwhelmed. And one thing I really appreciate about them is they have a lot of plant-based fibers, which can be really difficult to find in yarn shops. I'm starting to see them more, but the first place I saw have a bunch of options was definitely Harry and Alice. Anyways, that's it for my show and tell. Let's transport you back to Minnesota. Cutting it right down to the wire. It is Friday. I am meeting my sister in 30 minutes. She's going to be here. And I just, literally 30 seconds ago, finished the sweater. Oh my gosh. I was going to work on it yesterday. That was going to be my whole thing. But then work ended up going crazy. So I had a 16-hour work day. And that meant I had no time for anything. And this morning I still had more work to do, but I was able to get some weaving in time. One thing I will say about this sweater is I am loving it way more now that it's actually done. I was not trusting the process the entire time. I wasn't trusting myself the entire time because I was making up the process as I went along. So You can see I did a whole bunch of duplicate stitch to get all these white speckles up top here and brown speckles down here, which really helped ease the transition and make it just look a little bit smoother. I didn't need it to be a full even fade. That's really hard to do with 10mm needle projects, but just getting a little something to help it smooth out. I also really like the neckline on this. I normally wouldn't go for such a wide neckline, but I'm kind of digging this. I'm into it. I should take some measurements and do something similar. I have not blocked this yet. When I gift sweaters, I often try not to block them the first time. That way I can give the person the sweater and say, hey, if it's too narrow for you, we can block it and make it wider, and just do those adjustments when they block it the first time. She specifically asked for a bubble sleeve, so I got her a little bit of a bubble sleeve here and did some shaping so it would be a little bit narrower up top and a little bit wider down at the bottom here. And the nice thing about bubble sleeves is also with blocking, you can make it more exaggerated or you can make it less exaggerated. And I like that the cuff is not so tight that you can't roll it up. Like, you can definitely have the sleeves like rolled up more as you're wearing it, which is pretty nice. So I never wear sweaters this long and this tight, and this is definitely not my style and not my thing, but my sister has a longer torso than me, and I think she'll probably tuck it in, so it'll probably fit her a little bit more like this. This is definitely making me want to try doing a fade sweater again and doing something top down in either a raglan or a circular yoke. Yeah, let's get up close so you can really see all the details. This is indeed a raglan sweater seam here. It's looking like a thing. It's made entirely with drops air in a bunch of different colors. I hope I took notes on Ravelry for you in case you want to see it. I think the duplicate stitch actually worked out pretty well for the fading as a little like, oh no, I messed up. The fade doesn't look very good sort of band-aid solution. So I am content with that. I also was snapping my friend the last few days being like, she's gonna hate it. I'm doing terrible. This is not my best work. And my friend was like, oh my gosh, I love that sweater. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let other people form their opinions instead of always trying to hand something to someone, being like, it's terrible. I am horrible at this. I'm so sorry. You even have to deign to look at it. And instead, just let her form her own opinions. I hope people in my life know I try to be very vocal about this. If you don't like it, you don't have to wear it. I will not be offended. You can give it to somebody else. Not a big deal at all. The main thing is I hope the fit's okay. Like, I hope it's not too narrow, but also with blocking, I know this can definitely get a bit wider. It's alpaca, so it's gonna stretch out a little bit more. It's gonna be drapier. Right now, it feels as structured as it will ever be. It will get less structured over time. We're all good. The sweater's done. We did it. We did it, guys. I can't believe it. Okay, we have to take just 10 seconds to appreciate this adorable pumpkin garland that my mom made. Look at how cute it is. Also, I finished the scarf. Can I help you? I'm supposed to be recording, ma'am. Meow. Well, it looks like you won't be able to see Pippin, but she is just chilling right under you. Gotta do the outfit check. I love that I am slowly but surely getting better at dressing for my body, and I don't mean trying to make my body look as thin as possible, but dressing for comfort for my body while still trying to be cute. Because you know what I used to do? I used to wear the sucking in sausage casing like shapewear shorts. They're so tight and so uncomfortable, and that would just be every time I was wearing a dress or a skirt in high school or college. I'd just be wearing the tightest sucking in shorts ever. Now I got a pair of really buttery smooth, these are bike shorts, that are so comfortable. They are not tight in the slightest, and they keep my thighs from rubbing together, so it's incredibly comfortable and practical. And it's nice also because I have a pocket, so if I don't have a pocket on my skirt, I can just stick stuff in my bike shorts. Oh my gosh, the cutest little feature is this I-cord bow on my shirt. I need to start doing this more. This is so cute. Okay, that's enough about my outfit. Is it enough? I also have bow earrings. I'm really going on the bow theme today. You're just gonna let people see your ears. Okay, I just wanted to do a wrap up of what all was accomplished. I didn't end up filming very much on my trip, which was totally fine. I wasn't planning to. I usually just bring my phone every time. That's what I record with, and my mics, because they're like small and pack really easy, just in case I get bored one day. And sometimes that's been really nice. Like there was a vacation where I had tons of free time and I made a whole video just on me traveling, and it was a really nice way of getting a little bit of me time, being a little bit creative. It was a good outlet. But on this trip, I didn't really have as much free time. We were pretty packed with plans the whole time. Or I was working. There was a lot of work that needed to be done. Project-wise, yay, we finished the Midnight Forest sweater. That is totally done now. I'm excited that I got at least something done. And I had every intention of wanting to work on the Polaroid sweater for my mom while I was in Minnesota. Let me grab it. But it's not a very fun project. Like, it's not bad. It's just a little boring. I think I've got like 7 inches of body, and I think this needs to be 18 inches. It might need to be. I do still plan on having this done by the end of the year, and it's currently December 1st, which means I have 4 weeks to work on it. I do like to have all of my active whips done by the end of the year. It's just a nice little satisfying goal. So that's one of them. And then I also finished my scarf, my striped scarf. Where is it? I hear you, Mary. My striped scarf is done. I am so glad that I finished this when I was in Minnesota, because the temperature dropped while I was there and it ended up getting really cold, and I did not bring enough like warm accessories. I forgot how much a big difference a scarf makes in keeping you warm. I am elated with how well this scarf turned out, and I don't actually have that much yarn left over. I'm so glad I was able to use up as much as I did. Okay, this is all the leftover yarn that I have from that scarf project, and I'm glad that most of the amounts are so tiny like this, and that's because I ended up switching the size of the stripes. So for most of the scarf, like 75% of it, I did 15 rounds for each stripe, which got me about 2.5 inches worth of a stripe. And then as I was getting down further and further in the balls of yarn I was working with, I was realizing pretty quickly that most of them, I wouldn't be able to get 15 full rounds out of it. I could do 10. In the true spirit of me trying not to overthink this project, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to switch to 10. And that's going to be fine, right? It's going to be fine. And it's actually not that weird. It's really not, having 2 different size stripes. I don't know. I kind of like the detail at the end of the day. And it meant I got to get down really close to finishing most of the yarn colors. Like, this is all I have left of, I think it's called the parrot green. So yep, I just have little tiny baby amounts left over. I do need to decide what I want to do with these. I can just leave them and use them as stuffing for something later on and not actually knit up a project with them. Or I could do something really small, like leg warmers. I definitely don't have enough to do leg warmers or even a hat with these, but if I supplement, because I still have full balls of like various colors left over in my stash, so I could supplement with these colors. But I also am kind of considering instead, I want to do a project with the hot pink and forest green together. I can't explain it. It's not something that I thought I would like very much, but I really adore that color combo. And I kind of want to do something with both those colors. I also really liked the lavender and the green, but I think I like the hot pink and the green more. That was just a fun thing about doing this scarf in general, was getting to play around with different color combos and seeing, do I like these colors together? I don't know. For example, I also really like this minty green with the cherry red. I think it would also be a fresh take on a Christmas sweater, is if you did something with these 2 colors. Another kind of Christmassy combo in here is the dark green, light green, and red all together. Also looks really cool. Red and hot pink are a classic color combo, and this is no exception. They always look fantastic together. Anyways, I am very excited. I got 2 projects completely done on the trip, and I had made progress on the Polaroid sweater. Don't get me wrong. I did work a couple inches of this, and this is going to be my main focus for the rest of the year. Speaking of, for this video, it was very unplanned, extremely unplanned. In fact, it was part of another video I was doing just called the most random knitting vlog you've ever seen or something like that. And I ended up cutting out pretty much everything from that and changing it into just working on whips while I'm traveling. That was not the initial plan. However, there was a 20-minute clip in the original video that I don't know what to do with now, where it's me tier ranking Lord of the Rings characters by how much I'd want to have a girls' night with them. I don't think it was 20 minutes. I think it was more like 12 minutes long. And now I just have that. So I'm like, where do I stick that in a video? Or do I just not? And that was just a thing I did. Because I can't just release a video on its own called, you know, me ranking Lord of the Rings characters by how likely I am to have a girls' night with them. Do I have anything left to say? I don't think I have anything left to say. I think I could ramble for another 20 minutes, but I'm not going to. Do something crafty for yourself and stay hydrated.